Hello lovely jewelers! Are you thinking about hiring some help for your jewelry business? Make sure that you don't make these common mistakes when starting out. So mistake number one is thinking that a small business means you only. Just because you want to grow your business doesn't mean it's not still going to be a small, special, amazing, beautiful jewelry business like it is now if you get somebody to help you with various different tasks. I know when I first started, I was dead set on the fact that small business, independent woman doing her thing, all of that, meant that I had to literally do everything and I had to be the master of everything, and that just made me feel so unbelievably stressed out because I wasn't good at everything and I had to learn. But once I got to the point where I learned which areas I was good at, that then helped me to make informed decisions on where my energy is better spent. So a good idea for you is to see what your strengths and weaknesses are and try and hire help for those things that are relevant to helping you grow your jewelry business. Which leads me on to mistake number two, which is hiring a VA, a virtual assistant, or someone who just helps with the general running of things. So I made this mistake, and the reason why it's a mistake, at the time I thought it was a great idea, trust me, and I thought it would save me so much time because it would lighten my load of my shoulders and I could get her to do this thing and that thing and all kinds of different things like emails and captions for posts and scheduling Facebook and Instagram posts and things like that. But she wasn't an expert in everything. And I was asking her to do too many different things because I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have time to do this. Can you do this, please? Which felt great. But actually why I would advise against that is because I was explaining to her how to do things to the best of my capabilities, which meant that she was only doing it as best as I could do it. So what I've learned now in future years is that it's much better to hire an expert who is really good at a particular thing that knows how to do it way better than I would. I basically have a rule: I don't want to ever hire somebody who doesn't know more than me about the thing. So I am all game for them coming along and saying, this needs to be improved, this is great, let's change this, let's work on it like this, and bringing something new to the table, because otherwise it's just like I have two pairs of hands. And that's great, but in terms of seeing things from a different perspective and a perspective of an expert, you miss out on that. For example, I know a fair amount about SEO and I have trialed and errored and done a lot of work on that, but obviously there's always so much more when you're specializing in an area. So as of now, I've actually hired people who are working on my SEO for me. So they have a team of people who specialize in the different aspects, and I work alongside them to boost my SEO even more. So for example, if I were to ask my VA to work on my SEO, so I understand a fair amount of it, so I could tell her or him, you need to do this, 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 and this, but still they just doing it to my capabilities. Whereas if that is something that they specialize in, they're going to obviously do an even better job. But starting out, obviously you need to use the skill sets you have. So that's why I have made sure that I have a pretty good understanding of everything that it takes to run a jewelry business. But then when I want to take it to the next level, that's when you start hiring experts to help you push it even further once you have done that initial setup of absolutely everything, so that you know that when someone says XYZ about something, you go, no, actually, or yes, that's a good idea, because you have a base understanding of how to work everything in your business. And again, what I always like to say, it's the working on your business rather than working in your business. So removing yourself a little bit further so that you can actually focus on the things that are really, really important. Which leads me on to mistake number three, which is not doing your due diligence. This mistake hurts a little bit because it bit me a bit, so I'm sharing it with you so that you don't have the same experiences. So when you go about hiring your first employees, and by employees I mean, it could be someone on Fiverr doing a short little gig for you, someone on Upwork writing some content for you, whatever it is that you're doing, hiring someone doesn't necessarily mean you're now in charge of their whole contract and, you know, health insurance and all of that stuff. They're independent people. So there's lots of different places like Fiverr and Upwork where you can hire people who have taken care of all of that themselves, and you just hire them as need be, or otherwise working with an external company that does a certain thing for you. So there's so many different ways about going about hiring people. But if you don't do your research and don't check that they have good reviews, that they have evidence of previous work that they've done, that you can find information backing up what they're saying in the sales call, because some people can be super amazing at saying, oh my goodness, I'm amazing, I'm gonna bring you the world, and it's gonna be decorated all beautifully, and it's gonna have like cherries and raspberries and all the freaking glittery stuff you possibly want, painting you this beautiful picture of what they're gonna do for you, and you pay them a bunch of money and then they don't do anything. So that really hurt. I worked with a company, and I'm going to say the name because I don't want this to happen to any of you guys, called SSAW, who promised me to find loads of different shops for me. They have a massive email list with over 10,000 shop owners, and they'll handpick according to your business and your brand and all of this. So this was me starting the beginning of last year, starting to work with them, and I was like, this sounds amazing. I filled in like 5 different pages of, you know, competitor marketing, and I did lots of I gave them loads of information, so I was really sure that they understood my company and my jewelry brand and the aesthetic of it, so that they would understand the kind of shops to handpick for my jewelry. In the end, after 6 months of waiting for them and constantly thinking, in the next chat or the next email, they're gonna say they got shops. Again, nothing. And yeah, I paid them a lot of money, and that basically ended in them not responding to my emails. Absolutely, yeah, couldn't make a call with them, basically couldn't get in touch with them whatsoever. They blocked their numbers, their phone numbers. So basically, yeah, I was left out of pocket and really annoyed, because moving to a new country, I was hoping to delegate some of that work to an expert in the field to take a load off my shoulders and to take charge of finding new shops for me, because I obviously moved and wanted to expand into different areas. Anyway, so that one still hurts when I talk about it, but really, I should have known. I had a gut feeling that there was something a little bit fishy about it. I wasn't sure what. And the annoying thing is that I know that my jewelry sells. Whenever I put it in shops or I'm at markets, I sell well. So, and even on my website, I sell. So that is why I just was struggling to believe that they had done all they could. And mistake number 4 is not understanding the difference between help doing money generating activities or tasks versus help doing tedious, boring jobs. So whenever you're thinking about hiring somebody to help you with anything, for example, let's say you want to hire someone to help you with your social media, to write all the captions and all of that stuff, schedule your posts. Say, for example, this usually takes you around 10 hours a week to do, and then this person takes on that responsibility and they do that. So now you've magically got these amazing 10 extra hours. So you're not gonna go and sit on the couch and twiddle your thumbs and go, oh my God, I'm so lucky I have 10 extra hours, I feel so free as a bird. No, what you wanna be doing with that extra 10 hours is putting it into the areas of your business that will generate your money that you will be spending on this person. So hiring this help costs you $100 a week. You need to be putting those 10 hours that you have free into activities in your business that will be generating $100 a week or more, so that you can pay that help and obviously make it worth your while. So it's not just canceling itself out, but also allowing you time to build your business even further. So hope that makes sense. That is really important, because you want to really be focusing on the things that you can't outsource so that you can grow that business. So for example, I have a fantastic team of people who make my jewelry for me. So the reason why this was a great idea for me is because I do not have time to make 200 pieces a week. And when I have really big orders, then people would have to wait really long for them. So it just made way more sense for me to do it that way. And secondly, this allows me to focus on money generating activities, such as focusing on my emails and creating new collections where I still get to make and design beautiful pieces. And it also allows me to build my YouTube channel and focus on my coaching business. So I have a lot of things that are really important to me that I want to have time for. So by making that decision, it allows me to do all of those other things. And this leads me on to mistake number 5, which is not investing in your education soon enough. So after I finished my jewelry course, I was like, okay, now I want to sell my jewelry. How on earth do I go about doing that? So that's where I began doing some research, finding some amazing courses that I took to help me be able to do that. So now I am running my business full-time from Belgium, and I could never have done that had I not invested in myself, and knowing that I needed to learn certain things and not seeing that as a weakness, but rather as an area to grow that I embraced. And I feel so much more empowered knowing that, rather than feeling really anxious and nervous to, fully go into it because I didn't know everything right now. So that fear of perfectionism in like, I'm gonna need to try it, and if I don't succeed, then I'm a failure. So please don't think that, because that's absolutely not true, and it just might mean that you need to invest in different courses to help you with that. And another point that I want to mention is, if you have the choice between, you have some money to spend and you have the choice between hiring some help or investing in a course, I would highly recommend investing in a course first, because that will then allow you to understand whether the help that you do want to hire in the future is right, and you'll have a better understanding in general of how your business works and know where to focus your energy and your attention. So rather than just hiring someone being like, oh, that's totally in the wrong direction. So that is something that I would definitely recommend doing. Talking about courses, I actually have a full comprehensive course where I literally take you step by step from starting your business, thinking about what kind of jewelry you want to make, what you want to be doing with your time, to marketing, influencer marketing, all the way, everything that you need to know step by step, so that you can feel empowered to be able to know which areas to grow your business, which areas to outsource, which areas you're passionate about and you want to focus more attention on. And it's just something I would have absolutely and utterly loved, and that's why I made it for past me, for future you. So if you're interested in that, there's a link down below in the description. You can check that out. I also invite you to have a conversation. If you have any questions or you're not sure about whether it's right for you, then I'm really happy to chat to you about it and we can get to know each other. And that's it from me for this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week in another video. Take care, so much love, see you soon.